Hola, mi gente. It's your girl here. I have a thought on my mind. There's a lot of talk about going into your darkness to be able to learn and grow. These are the dark days. These are the doom days. The list goes on. And there's something special about having a balance, which is called black and white, yin and yang. What does any of this have to do with self-love, self-first? Well, let's talk. Because there's a thought that comes through my mind. And the thought that's coming through my mind right now is allowing you for yourself to go through the act of learning and growing and becoming better than you was yesterday. And the reason for these things is because it's a necessity. But let me tell you something. There's a difference between you and other people. And I'm going to tell you right now. The difference is you're not going to allow for your darkness, your lessons that you have to learn in life to make you bitter. Let me say this again. You will not allow for the dark lessons to make you bitter, because it is best that you do learn. It is best that you come and rise above. But what's even better is that when you do learn your lesson and you're not bitter. Trust the process. And let's go deep into it a little bit. So as people live life, when you're young, you're not really given a rule book as to how life is supposed to be lived, right? Some people have parents that guide them. Some of those people, they either miss it or they actually get it right? And then you have people who they're missing a parent or both. Or they're raised by their grandparents. Either way, they're raised by people from an older generation. And no matter what, for some reason, people always want to just do it anyway because they want to do what they want to do, right? And there's times when you can make a decision and you just might fall. You just might make the wrong decision. And it doesn't necessarily mean only you making a wrong decision. It could just be you being around the wrong people. And now you're caught. Or you have to take ownership. So either way, the point is that when your life sometimes goes down a certain path and there's a lesson to be learned, because everyone goes through a point where they have to learn a lesson or two. You understand? When you're learning these lessons, you don't want for your life for you to just go through your journey and for you to come out bitter. Okay, so fine. Maybe, some things worked out the way it was supposed to, and then maybe some things worked out the way they weren't supposed to. That's not for you to decipher. You understand? Because God always has a plan. And I say that because there's divine energy that is higher than a lot of us. Higher than all of us, on the contrary. And there's lessons to be learned in life. Everybody has a different journey. Everybody has a different lesson in life. You understand? There's different things that are going on in everyone's life, right? As you're learning and you're growing and you're rising above, trying your best to work on a high frequency, high vibration is important. But there's things in life sometimes that takes you away from that. It taints you. And other people's bad habits, other people's ways of living life, it sometimes come on to you, or it'll leak into your life. And no matter what, your best bet is for you to take ownership for putting yourself in that position. Hear me out. Don't judge what I'm saying. It is best that you upgrade your perspective on whatever is it that you're doing in life so that you can rise above quicker. You don't want to keep blaming people for the way your life has unfolded into. You understand? You don't want to live life, oh, if it wasn't because of this person, I wouldn't be dealing with this. If it wasn't for that. Like, you could say that for so long. You could say that for so long. There's a point in time when you do have to take ownership for where you are right now. And okay, so fine, let history stay where it's at. That's why it's there. What we are going to do is I'm looking for the light to change. What we are going to do, we are going to upgrade ourselves and let the past, let history be history, and allow for our growth to continue. You understand? And allow for our how would you say, our journey to continue. But in order for you to do that, my recommendation, and I command you do this, is learn your lessons, rise above, fix your karma, change your karma, continue to be your best divine self, and let divine handle the injustice parts of what it is that you're dealing with. And while divine is dealing with that intangibleness of your life, you learn how to master thyself and learn to grow without becoming bitter. Because the worst people to be around isn't a person that comes out of a situation and that is completely bitter because their life didn't work out the way they expected it to. Those are the angry people in this world. Those are the people who hold grudges for generations after generations after generations. And no, there's not one person that's actually living generations after generations. That's not what I'm talking about. It could also just be a family that's been holding on to grudges for drama that happened in the 60s, in the 40s. And because of the fact that their family doesn't like this family, generation after generation after generation, they're still holding on to the grudge. That's sickening. That's sickening. There's people, brothers, watching generation after generation after generation, and the youngest one is still holding on a grudge that happened to the first brother. Sisters, generations, same thing, same cycle. And let me tell you something. If I sound as if I'm being cold-hearted about this, that is not the direction that I am going with. It's just not about being cold-hearted, because the message today is for you to understand. Learn how to rise above situations without being bitter. There's growth in that. You must learn how to rise above situations without holding grudges and being bitter about the way things were way before you were even born. How about that? Or one friend got into drama with another person, and then now you're holding on to that energy because that was your best friend. But what we don't talk about here is how we're holding on to all of this, and then you end up getting caught up in jail, or you end up getting, God bless, something happens to you for something that you weren't even there for. Let it go. See, it's okay for me to sit here and tell you this because obviously there was a message that came to my mind and I need to talk about it. Somebody needed to hear this. And in order for you to get past situations is for you not to be bitter. Bitterness is a low frequency. Your body is stressed. you're worried, you're weak. And what you don't want is for you to live a self-love, self-first lifestyle, being bitter about something that you have no control of. And you know what? How about this? What if you can do something about it? What if you can whoop somebody's ass? Or what if you can make somebody's life miserable? My thing is, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to waste energy, low frequency energy, for you to just stay in that level and never rise above? Why? Why would you want to waste your time investing into more karma, investing into basically ruining your life because you're putting out that negative energy? Because remember, what you put out, you get. So maybe it's time for us as a whole to do things differently. You know, this wars that's going on, do you know how many years, how many generations, how many centuries these things been going on way before the people who actually live on these lands now today? And they're still fighting wars. People are dying because of wars, because of generational issues, because of bitterness, because of egoic thinking, because of you just don't know how to be the person that changes the situation. You know, either you go along and you become in war and then everybody else's life is ruined, or you become the change of your family so that your children can live on. Like, what about the future? Nobody's thinking about that. Everybody's thinking about how it makes them feel. Because you feel stupid or you feel less of a person. Actually, on the contrary, if you walk away, you don't got to worry about all of that. If you're the person who makes the change in your family, you don't have to worry about all of that. You move on and you don't have to worry about any of that. So, sprinkling some love your way, because bitterness keeps you with more bitterness. Being angry keeps you with more anger. Rise above these situations. Learn how to self-love self first. Learn how to be the person that makes a change in your family. Learn how to be the person that makes a change amongst your friends. Because remember, you don't have to follow anybody. You can be the leader and people will follow you. And if they don't follow you, they weren't meant for you. And it's not about people following you. It's about being an example of what it looks like. Okay? So I digress. Stop being bitter. Stop letting people control you. And learn how to self-love, self first, every single day, with every single situation and everyone that you meet. Ciao.